Well, hi there, and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And tonight we're going to talk about a little movie from 2011. It's called, like you don't know, it's called 247 Degrees Fahrenheit. Yep, I was very interested in this movie when I heard about it. There are so many horror movies out there that kind of slip through the cracks. And since I have a penchant for looking up independent and lesser known ones. So, 247 Degrees Fahrenheit is from 2011. It was directed by Levan Bakhia and Beka Jguburia. Written by Lloyd S. Lloyd S. Wagner. It stars Scout Taylor-Compton, Christina Ulloa, and Travis Van Winkle, and Taylor Maine. Tyler Maine. Why do I want to call him Taylor all the time? But I do. Sorry, Tyler. But yeah, Tyler Maine is in this. Scout Taylor-Compton. She's wanting to try to become a scream queen. Or she's already kind of like a scream queen. But yeah, so let's get into this one. 247 degrees Fahrenheit. Every degree matters. And it did. And it does. So this movie was not what I expected it to be. It turned out to be something different. I still loved it though. I did love it. But I guess in my head, probably because of the word Tyler Maine, right? I just expected it to be something a lot different than it was. But even as I realized as the movie was going on that this isn't what I thought this would be, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still loving it. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So sit back and let's have a little story. This story is about Jenna. Now, Jenna and David, the movie opens with Jenna and David as her boyfriend, and they are obviously coming back from a dinner party. They're talking about their plans. They've obviously been together for a while. They've met the parents. They're obviously going to get married. She has all of her little American dream plans in line. And as usual, they never work out, do they? So they are in a horrific car crash in which David is killed. Um, the movie then jumps forward 3 years. So 3 years later, we have Jenna and her friend Renee. And Renee's got a boyfriend named Mike, and they have a friend named Ian. And so I guess they're trying to get Jenna to come back to the social world and help her get over her thing, you know. And so Renee and Mike and Jenna know each other, but this friend of Ian is this friend of Mike's, and I guess they're wanting to introduce Jenna to her, or to him. So they are going to go to a festival at a town on the lake, and it shows them out boating, and they're going to have a lake party. Now, Ian has an uncle named Wade, and Wade is played by Tyler Maine. So it was real interesting to get to see Tyler, not in Michael Myers mode. So that was kind of interesting to get to see him, like that. It's the first time I have seen him. I don't know if he's in anything else, but this is the first time I've seen him outside of Halloween. But so yeah, they go to this cabin, and this is the cabin that they're going to be staying at. It belongs to Ian's uncle Wade, and he's very nice. Of course, there I was thinking, he's of course going to be the devil of this movie, right? It's Tyler Main, for gosh sakes. So they all are at this cabin, and you see them, kind of like they're going to settling in. You have Mike is a total asshole. I can't stand him. Right off of the bat, he's like the drunk jock type, and you can tell that Renee is kind of like the bubble-headed, uh, puts up with it, but doesn't really like it, but puts up with it. I don't understand people like that. I don't hang around people like that, but um, so Mike and Renee are obviously together, and Jenna and Ian are sort of kind of awkward because it's obviously that they're being set up as, kind of like friends or possibly more. Um, but they don't really push that. Ian's very nice and he's not really pushing it. So I did kind of appreciate that they didn't, they weren't doing like a sex romp or something like that, which was pretty cool. They were all acting, well, except for Mike and his drunkenness, but they were all acting pretty well. So Wade, cooks them dinner and then tells them he'll see them at the party. He also got them tickets to this festival, and they're all going to go to that later on. He eats dinner with them and then he leaves. Wade leaves. You have those four left, and they are checking out the place and getting to know each other, and everything seems fine when uh, they find the sauna. This beautiful homemade sauna. The cabin is beautiful. I'd love to live there. But they have this beautiful sauna that was handmade by Wade, and they go into it, and I didn't really understand why Jenna was having such anxiety. I mean, obviously she's got pills with her, so probably Clonopin or Xanax or something, or Valium. But I'm sure it was a benzo to handle her anxiety, and so she's kind of trying like not to take them, and they go into the sauna, and I had to think for a minute, why would she be like so anxious about the sauna? But that fiery car wreck probably has something to do with it, right? but, so Jenna is anxious and uneasy, and all four of them, leave and go out to the swim. Then they go back to the sauna, and then they go back out and swim again. They did that several times, and then Jenna and Ian and Renee are in the sauna, but Mike stays out of the sauna. He's so drunk, he's hammered. He's totally hammered, and Jenna's tired of it, so they're like sort of fighting, and he goes away and says he'll be back or whatever, and then they all decide to get up and leave again, only they heard some kind of noise, right? And they get up to try to leave, and they are locked in the sauna. The door will not open. So you have Wade's gone. You have Michael out there. And, I'm going to kind of throw in what I was thinking as the movie was progressing. At this point, I'm thinking Wade got Michael, right? That's typically because of the way that I came into this movie and the way that I was thinking what this movie was going to be. Like some kind of slasher thing is what I thought it was. So I was like, well, Wade got Michael because he's gone. They're trapped. They can't get his attention. They're screaming for him. They try to bust the glass. The heat keeps coming on. They think Mike is playing a joke. But, then you see Wade. They flash to Wade, right? And you see him stopping and picking up some guy, and they're talking about what fun they're going to have tonight. And they've got like a shovel and stuff with them. So I think that they intentionally in this movie were making, I guess because of Tyler Maine's past films, I think that they kind of knew the audience was going to be expecting this, right? So they throw in these little creepy scenes with Wade, because why is he picking up this guy? And what does he mean they're going to have fun? And why they got shovels with them? you know, so they're trying all kinds of things to do to get out of the sauna, as you can imagine. They do end up managing to get one of the rocks out of the, where you pour the water to cause steam. So they manage to get one of the rocks out, and he uses it to break the window. So they actually do get the little window broken. That still wouldn't save you though, in a sauna like that. Not if it went up to 247. It'd still kill you even with that little, the little hole's only about that big, right? So they come up with all these ingenious plans, like you would. You would be trying to figure out what the fuck to do. So they try to make a little rope with their, you know, clothes, the towels and stuff to try to, because they figure out that there is a ladder that has fallen up against the door and it's braced between the stairs and the door. So they can't get out. So they're trying to use the little rope thing to get the ladder to come out, but they can't. They find the thermostat, and Ian tells them, no, you don't want to mess with that because I'm not sure, but if you break that thermostat, it won't have no way to know what the temperature is in there, and the flame will come on and stay, and the temperature will go up until it kills us. Now, of course, they've already been in there for hours, right? So it's not going to take long for a sauna to kill you if it's hot enough. So they try to blow out the fuse by shorting the lights, which really fries Ian, but it doesn't kill him, but it knocks his ass down. They thought maybe they could short the system. I mean, and that's a good idea. I don't damn their ideas. They come up with some good ideas. The little rope thing was a good idea, and him trying to short the lights out because that could work. There's only one problem though. They would have to be on the same breaker, and just because, well, like for instance, right here in my living room, this side of the plugs on this side are on one breaker, and the plugs on this side are on another breaker. So if like you go back there and shut off one of the breakers, it's only going to be one side of this room. So that's a little thing to keep in mind if you're ever trapped in a sauna. Just because you short out the lights doesn't mean it's on the same breaker. And obviously it was not. You know what I mean? It wasn't, because they did short out the lights. And it didn't help because the actual heater was probably on a different breaker. Probably on a breaker of its own. I'm getting a little technical here, aren't I? I mean, I'm not an electrician, but big things like your hot water heater, your refrigerator, stoves, washing machine and dryers, big things like that are heavy power draws, usually are on a breaker of their own, or at least one that doesn't have a lot of extra use, because those things take so much energy. So it was a good idea, but I don't think shorting out the lights was going to get the same breaker as the actual furnace was on, and it wasn't. So I'm right now. So he gets the shit shocked out of him, and you keep wondering, what the hell is Wade doing, and where the hell is Mike. So as this movie goes on, you finally hear the dog is like barking, and they hear the dog outside. So they think that someone is back, and you keep flashing to Wade, and I'm like, what is he doing, right? And then it starts to hit on me. I'm kind of like, wait a second. Is he it's a celebration. It's and he was talking about fireworks. The shovel and everything is to put. He's setting up the fireworks. Is what he's doing. He's not doing anything nefarious. So it's like the movie threw you a little because I started going, wait a second. I don't think Wade's a bad guy. I don't think that he's doing anything nefarious. Well, that was a good little track, to make you think that. So, um, they can't hear because they set off the fireworks for the festival. So they can't hear anything. And then Bo, the dog, he comes back to Wade and is acting so crazy that he gets, now that the fireworks are over, they'll clean it up tomorrow. And he gets Wade to go back home. Um, so Wade and the dog is going back to his house, which isn't the cabin, but it's just down the road from the cabin. So as he's going back there, he sees Michael standing out in the road, and he comes up to Michael, and Michael tells Wade that the others went to the party and had left him passed out on the couch. Now, I know that that's not true because I'm watching the movie. So at that moment, you think that Michael is now the culprit, right? Because he's telling an obvious lie. It's like, you're a little liar. You're fucking grassing me up, yeah? Why? Why? So instead of letting Wade go on to the cabin, Michael stops him and is complaining that they had left him and they had went on to the party. Now this made me think that Michael must be the culprit, because you of course are assuming that this was all done on purpose. So I'm like, well, okay, Michael is lying to him because they didn't think and it turns out that the reason that he was out on the road was because he went to the party. But, he didn't bring the ticket, but he went to the party. And his friends had the tickets, right? So he went to that place while Wade was doing the fireworks. Michael really was at that party, but they wouldn't let him in because he didn't have tickets. And he's like, but my friends are in there and they've got the tickets. Go get them. They wouldn't. Big fight. He leaves and goes back to the cabin upset. So when he tells Wade this, Wade is like, oh, that fucking sucks. Why don't you come back home with me and we'll smoke a doobie and chill out? So Michael gets into the truck with Wade and they go on to Wade's house and you're like, oh man. So did maybe Michael wasn't doing anything nefarious either, you know, because the three are still stuck, and now Michael is gone with Wade. They're still stuck in the sauna dying, and they are getting close to death now. And they're also starting to get delirious and things from the dehydration, and they're starting to turn on each other. Jenna ends up hitting Renee with a thermostat, which causes the flame to come back on. So now it's going to come on and not go off because she finally ripped the thermostat. Becky freaked out. I mean, Renee. Who's Becky? There's no Becky in this movie. So Renee rips the thermostat off, which causes the flame to come back on, which pisses Jenna off, and they get into a fight, and Jenna is like, what the fuck did you do that for? And ends up bashing Renee with the thermostat and knocking her out. And so Ian's freaking out. Mike is sitting at Wade's house smoking, and Ian, like burns himself when he attacks the heater, right? Because now that Renee has had that happen, Jenna's doing that, Ian fucking loses it finally, because you have to understand, um, dehydration, and as they start going to have heat strokes, you get delirious, you lose your mind. And so Ian really actually does that. And he starts, because now they've stuck the heater on, which means, to tell you the truth, they don't have long after that, you know. And he actually loses it, which kind of like pissed me off because I didn't want to see him die. Because he was really a nice character, a nice guy. And he like attacks the heater and is trying to pulling it off the thing. I'm like, dude, you're going to break the gas. You know what I mean? You're going to break the gas line. So he is like burned himself all over trying to break it off, and he does end up breaking it off. And it then blows up. You know, it like blows up from a spark, and it kills his ass. I mean, he's blown up against the wall, and it kills him. And that blows the door open. And well, I mean, yeah, that blows the door open, and she's able to get out. Jenna's able to get out, and she goes upstairs and goes into her bedroom where she takes one of them damn pills, as you can imagine. She goes up there to take her pills, but then it turns out that that was just a dream. Ian is dead, but she's still in the sauna. She didn't get out at that time. So Jenna and Renee are still stuck, and they're obviously going to die. The part where Ian blew himself up, that really did happen, but it concussed and knocked Jenna out, along with Renee, who was already knocked out, and that caused her to have this little momentary dream that she had gotten out when she hadn't. So Mike had finally come back, was now on his way back. They had finished doing their little dope party, and they were on their way back. Mike was coming back into the cabin, whereas Jenna has come to, realized that that was a dream and what the hell she's going to do, because now they're all suffocating. Now her and Renee are suffocating on the gas. So she realizes that first she gets Renee up to the window, to that little window, and like strings her up with towels to hold her face up to that window, and manages to go get this piece of wood and sticks it into the gas pipe. I'm like, well, that was a good idea, was to stick it into the gas pipe and stop the gas flow, which, kind of saved them. And it's at this point that we get to see exactly what happened. Now, what happened was that Mike was indeed drunk, as we know, that when he had left way back, when he told them that he'd be back in a minute, he did stumble and stagger with his drunk ass and had hit a ladder which had fallen up against the door. He went up there into the living room, drank more, and passed out on the couch. And then when he did wake up, that is the truth. He did think that he had been left and that they had went on, because when he went calling for them, no one answered. So his drunk self didn't go and check the sauna. Instead, he thought that they had left him, because, they were pissed at him anyway. And then he went to the party. All that was true. He went to the party to find out, to go to the party with them. They wouldn't let him in. He gets into a fight and gets mad, comes back home, meets Wade, goes smokes dope, and we're here back around to the circle. So Wade shows up and comes in there to the cabin, and it's Wade that goes down there to the sauna because Mike was too stupid to ever even check. So Wade comes in, goes down there, and finds them up at the little window trying to breathe, and looks in and finds them, gets the ladder out of the way, gets them in there, finds his nephew dead. So he is like freaking out, and then the scene shifts to the outside where Jenna and Renee are being taken off into the ambulance. Michael is like, I have no sympathy for him, but he's over there completely freaking out. You can see him mouthing words like, "This is all my fault. I'm so stupid." And I'm like, yes, yes. Say it 20 more times, please. Like, write it like a school on the blackboard. I am a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I should be dead. So, yeah, I couldn't stand people like that. So he's like the epitome of that jock asshole that you hate. But, so they're alive. Wade, of course, is devastated about his nephew being dead. And that's the end. The credits roll. Um, and yeah, 7 out of 10 to me. I really liked it. Like I said, I didn't expect it to be what it was. I went into it thinking it was some kind of slasher, and instead it turns out to be a Final Destination kind of thing. Not anywhere near it, but you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like in that mode, these little things happen, and they end up trapped in there. I thought it was really neat that they had Tyler Maine playing a straight guy. By straight, I mean, uh, he's not the villain, he's not bad, he's not mean, he's a very nice guy who was letting them stay in his cabin, cooked them dinner. Um, so they fooled me. I think they fool you by making you think that this is going to be some kind of slasher, especially with Tyler Maine in it. So that was pretty neat. I think the acting was great. I think Jenna was good. Scout Taylor-Compton was good. That's why I keep trying to call Tyler Taylor right there. Um, the other two were fine. I think the best actors were Ian and Jenna. I mean, Scout and whoever was playing Ian, was that Travis Van Winkle? Yeah. So I think Travis Van Winkle and Scout Taylor were the best as far as the acting goes. But I liked everything about it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and yet I still liked it. Um, so I guess, I don't know, what genre would you put it in? Survival horror? Thriller horror? Survival. I know IMDb puts it as a horror thriller. I don't really see it as a thriller, though. A thriller has protagonists. No, I don't think, I wouldn't call it a thriller. I think it's a survival horror because they're having to survive in this sauna. So that would be the genre that I would give it. But 7 out of 10, I liked it. I like the acting. I will definitely revisit it. It was a fun movie to watch. Just to get to see Travis Van Winkle sit around with his shirt off all the time is pretty cool. But, and you guys, I'm sure, love Scout. So, um, yeah. I like this movie a lot. Tell me your thoughts about it in the comment if you got anything to say about it. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? I really liked it. I liked Tyler Maine in it. I liked it all. It was a perfectly good little movie, and I like having it in my collection. Turned out to be really nice. Thank you very much for stopping by and seeing me. I will pick out some more to watch and continue and do some videos. Oh, I've got so many. I've only got 1,700 to choose from. Uh, we'll see what I just decide to come up with next. But love you, miss you, bye. Thank you for checking me out. and listening to me ramble on about 247 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a nice little movie. Don't be afraid of seeing it if you haven't saw it. Um, I liked it perfectly fine. And no matter what the world is doing or saying to you or anybody, you're a very special person, and always remember that. And keep screaming when appropriate, and keep rocking very, very hard. And I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Miss you. Bye.